What's up, YouTube? This is your king and I, Vincent Valentine, EX Turk, coming back at you with a brand new video and for brand new content. And since Halloween is around the corner, we're gonna be talking about Final Fantasy stuff that's related to creepiness. Since we did our 15 thing, where I talked about the Magitech Factory, now let's talk about Final Fantasy VII. Creepy things that might not only be creepier in the Final Fantasy VII remake, but also might make it in the remake completely. And to start off with number one, I'd have to say the least creepiest would be the Daddy Longlegs, the giant green Daddy Longlegs you had to fight in order to get to the vengeful spirit you had to defeat and exorcise from Cosmo Canyon. Would be number one, just on the fact that spiders are freaky and they scare most people, especially if they're giant and they're daddy long legs. Daddy long legs look the creepiest. Especially imagine a 10 feet human size green daddy long legs stand in front of you. And when you get in their web, they come and attack you and try to eat and drink the fluid from you. So, the number one creepiest thing that's going to possibly make it into the remake of Final Fantasy VII is the Green Daddy Longlegs. I don't know what they're called, but you know what arc they're part of. And number two, it's kind of obvious. Anything in Shinra Manor itself, including the monsters, the experiments that went on in there, and everything. And in the remake, they're going to make it even more so. I think I could see when you unlock Vincent, instead of reading a piece of paper, you might get cutscenes when Vincent tries to put a stop to Hojo's experiments on people, and he gets shot for it. And Vincent starts to record a camera record all the experiments that Hojo's done. I mean, even though this is not a game that's going to be M-rated, there's gonna be at least hinting at some pretty graphic stuff that Hojo's been doing to human bodies for a while. So, I'd say the Shinra Manor itself would be number two. And number three would be Professor Hojo himself. And why I say Professor Hojo? Because Professor Hojo is a twisted dude. He's exactly like a Nazi scientist. He cuts people up and does God knows what to them. He even sacrificed the woman he was, married to craft the perfect weapon, which became Sephiroth, and trained Sephiroth to be this ultimate killing machine for, under Shinra's beckon and calling. So you get to see all the disturbed details in the remake of everything Hojo's done. And this will actually impact more because this is not polygon models with subtext. This is actually voice acting and everything. So we're going to be seeing everything wrong that Hojo's been doing. And not only that, like I said, instead of the piece of paper that talked about the Turk that tried to stop Hojo, you could probably see a flashback of Turk Vincent trying to stop Hojo, first by gathering all the evidence of all of Hojo's misdeeds. And I could see Vincent going around saying, "My God, what is this?" after seeing a bunch of corpses and, hanging around because of what Hojo has done. And then he gets mad and tries to face off against Hojo, and then that's when, Hojo shoots him in the head. And then it will show probably possibly surgical cutscenes of Vincent, with the monsters being put inside of him. Or the monsters' genes of the monsters that Hojo has captured. So, yes, number three was actually Professor Hojo himself. Number four would be Vincent Valentine's transformations, at least Chaos and Hellmasker. Death Gigas was not that scary, but, again, all of Vincent Valentine's transformations are based off old horror movies, like I said before. And they symbolize a level of despair Vincent has faced, dealing with Hojo, so, and each level gets worse, First level is just a chimera. So it's not so bad. Second form, it gets bad, and then third and fourth are the worst two, or the scariest looking forms. And when Vincent turns into any of those two forms, Hellmaster or Chaos, Vincent loses complete control because those monsters have taken over. At least in the Final Fantasy VII original, in the Final Fantasy original series, in Dirge of Cerberus, he learns how to control it. But, and even though Chaos has returned back to the planet in Dirge of Cerberus, Vincent still got those other monsters that's inside of him. But I think it's more of an obvious thing that's going to be a creepy thing that they're going to put in the remake. I mean, if you're going to be able to get 4 limit breaks like you do in the original, I'm pretty sure they're going to make you just choose one, and that's the limit break. Or they'll make you choose a costume that has the limit break attached to it, which will probably just be the same costume but different move sets. So you probably get that limit break with it. And you have to unlock it by leveling your limit break up and your limit break gauge up. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same, but I'm pretty sure Vince is going to get all his transformations in this remake, which will look extremely creepier with the Unreal Engine and the voice acting and, so I'd say Vincent's transformations would be number 4 and number 5. Anything to deal with Jenova, such as the headless figure in the Shinra building, her life and death forms, her life and death forms are at least about, I'm going to make a rough estimate of 25 inches tall. Think of the Supreme Leader Snoke hologram. That's how tall each of her forms are going to be. And even though Sephiroth's going to be paid attention and be the main villain of the game, I think it'd be a crime to take out any and all of Jenova, because Jenova was controlled by Sephiroth. So you take that out, you kind of kill the original spirit of the game. So I think she should at least be a boss. But any of her fights, the Shinra building, and the fact that she was able to get in Cloud's mind, even though she was controlled under Sephiroth, the fact that she could telepathically link herself to anyone who shares any cells from her. So pretty much, I'd have to say that'd be number 5. And not only that, she can also turn to anybody. She could turn to Vincent, Cloud, Sephiroth, anybody. She has the power of, changing herself. She's kind of how Mystique is on X-Men. Pretty much. So she could do that. She could telepathically link herself if you have her cells. She has many forms. She could transform into different forms. Imagine what she was like when she had her full power in all her cells. Imagine, she'd probably do more than what Sephiroth did. When Sephiroth summoned the one supernova that took a long time, Jenova probably could put 2 supernovas at twice the speed if she was at full power. So those are the creepiest top 5 things that we're possibly going to see in the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And may the crystal be with you.